Hey folks, Eric Prey, Focus Fishing Guide Service. Got another video fishing report for you for Table Rock. It is Tuesday, May the 22nd. Been on the water every day, either on Table Rock or did spend the weekend up at Stockton fishing the Web Outdoors Elite. Caught a lot of fish up there, just didn't catch the right ones. Had over 20 keepers each day, just couldn't seem to get a big bite. And if you looked at the results, you'll see that there was about 2 pounds separating first place and 20th place. So really need a big bite to do well in that tournament. But anyway, fish are biting on Table Rock. We have been catching them. Didn't make it out today. Had a little bit of a miscommunication with my trip, so I'm going to go ahead and shoot this out here in the park. But as far as our lake level is concerned, we are at 916.59 as of this afternoon. Puts us about 0.6 above normal for May, but as we're getting closer to the end of May, we do go to 917 the first part of June, so a little bit under if you were thinking that we need to be at 917. So I do expect the Corps to continue to run 1 or 2 units a day all day long. They're still draining beaver down and still dumping water in the Bull Shoals, so I do expect them to keep running water. As far as our water temperature is concerned, we are seeing some pretty high water temperatures already. For the most part, we're seeing 76, 77 in the morning. Fished a full day the other day, and by the time we get off the water, I did see 80 degrees. So that will change the bite as we go forward. Water's definitely warming up and the fish are definitely moving, but we are still catching a lot of fish on every trip. It is changing though, so you want to pay attention. You want to let the fish tell you where to go and what to do over these next few weeks as they transition from their post-spawn into their summer pattern. But if you guys are coming down, so you're going to fish this weekend over Memorial Day, God bless you. Don't stay out too late because the boat traffic will be ridiculous if the weather's nice. But anyway, if you're coming down, so you're going to fish the lower end, definitely the number one thing you want to have on your deck is a topwater. Spook, popper from Yozuri, Sammy, whatever your favorite topwater is, even a whopper plopper, whatever you like to throw as a topwater, you want to have that tied on right now. Most of the fish are working their way out to the main lake. Some of them are still back in the coves, but you can definitely tell they're not right on the bank like they were a week ago. A week ago, we were catching them right on the bank or very shallow. The last few days, they've been out in the trees, out on the points, even out on the main lake. So they are definitely starting to transition out of the post-spawn into a summertime pattern. Look for fish busting or just look for shad. If you can find shad, generally there'll be fish around them, and they will come up and hit a topwater if you throw it around them. Other baits you want to have on, you definitely want to have a jewel squirrel head. Catching a lot of fish on the jewel squirrel head using either a speed craw or using a beaver as the trailer on it. Most of those fish are on gravel, secondary and main lake points. Most of them are in that 10 to 18 foot range, getting a little deeper as the day goes on. Also catching them on the jewel net head, using half of a Bass Pro Sticko as my trailer on that. And have been catching a few on a tube too. I think the tube's really going to start to play over the next week, especially on the lower end. You're definitely going to want to have a Bass Pro tender tube. Puke's a great color, green pumpkin's a great color. I just rig it with a 1/4 ounce slip-in head. Same locations. Gravel, anywhere from about 10 to about 18, even 20 foot deep. As the day wears on, the brighter the sun is, the deeper those fish are going to go, but make sure you have a tube tied on as well. Go up into the Kimberling City area, same bites are working. Make sure you got a topwater tied on. Right now, probably through most of the summer, we will have a topwater bite first thing in the morning. Some days it'll last a little longer, some days a little bit shorter, depends on the cloud cover, depends on wind, all these other factors, but make sure you have a topwater tied on. Been doing good with a spook, been doing good with a Sammy, been doing good with the Yozuri popper. Doing really well with those baits. If you like throwing a whopper plopper, I'm sure you can catch a few on a whopper plopper as well. Look for shad busting. If you see shad, you're going to find fish around them. Once the sun comes up, change things up. I've been doing really good with the jewel squirrel head. Again, with either a beaver or a speed craw on it. Doing really well with the jewel net head with half of a Sticko on it. And doing well with the jewel or with the Bass Pro tender tube. Using a slip-in 1/4 ounce head. All those baits are working on gravel points, both secondaries and main lakes, anywhere from about 10 to about 18 to 20 feet deep. Also started to catch a few around boat docks in the Kimberling City area. A lot of fish coming off of boat docks using either the squirrel head or using the pro spider jig. Okeechobee blue or green pumpkin candy have been my best colors in the spider jig. Matching that up with a speed craw and basically keying on the shade, but really the deeper shade, not really catching them on those walkways leading from the dock to the shore. Most of them are coming out of the slips or on the side of the dock, so make sure you're working the shade over with a jewel spider jig if you're in the Kimberling City area. Go up into the James, and the James has been really good the last week or so. A lot of fish coming out of the James. The bite's been a lot stronger in the James. Water's a little bit warmer, but we are still catching them on the top water up the James. Spook, Yozuri popper, Sammy, whopper plopper, whatever you like to throw, have a topwater tied on. Look for shad busting. Most of those fish, again, are working their way out towards the main lake, so we are catching them on secondary points and main lake points. But if you see shad, make sure you've got a topwater tied on, and they will come up throughout the day and bust a little bit too, so keep it on the deck while you're fishing throughout the day. Then you want to have a squirrel head tied on. Once the sun gets up, have a squirrel head with either a speed craw or a beaver tied onto it. 1/4 ounce has been my best size. Again, most of the fish are a little bit shallower up the James because it is a little bit dirtier water, doing well from about 8 to about 15 foot deep. Using the squirrel head and using the Jewel Pro Spider Jig, 5/16. Okeechobee Blue's been my best color, but I have caught a few on Green Pumpkin Candy and a few on on Missouri Craw. Both of them matched up with a speed craw. Basically just using a Green Pumpkin or a Watermelon Candy speed craw as a trailer. And have caught a few on a Carolina rig. I don't normally talk about the Carolina rig that much. I don't throw it that much, but I did take a couple of guys out last week that wanted to throw a Carolina rig, and we were catching them on a Carolina rig with about an 18 to 24 inch leader, 1/2 ounce weight, again on the gravel, anywhere from 10 to 20 feet deep, and using either a lizard or using a brush hog as a trailer on it. But caught a few on a Carolina rig as well, so you might have a Carolina rig tied on if you're going to go up the James. Go up into the White River, and White River is really strong. We're catching a lot of fish on the same bites we're catching everywhere else. Same sort of patterns. Make sure you have a topwater tied on first thing in the morning. Spook, Yozuri popper, Sammy, whopper plopper, whatever you like to throw, make sure you have your topwater tied on first thing in the morning. Once the sun comes up, switch up, use the Jewel squirrel head with either a beaver or a speed craw on it. Use the Jewel net head with a Bass Pro Sticko on it, cut in half, or use a Bass Pro tender tube. All those are working. 1/4 ounce head. Look for those fish to be on gravel or gravel mixed with rock, out there about 10 to 20 feet deep. Especially once the sun gets up, they will move a little bit deeper, but look for those fish to be out there a little bit deeper up the White River. Catching a lot of fish doing that, catching them around boat docks up the White as well, especially in the Shell Knob area. Flipped a lot of boat docks in some of the little creeks up there over the weekend, or last week I should say, and caught a lot of fish on a 5/16 Jewel Pro Spider Jig. Okeechobee Blue was my best color, but I did catch a couple on Green Pumpkin Candy, matched up with the speed craw. So definitely have that tied on as well. Really, that's all I've been throwing up there. I didn't throw the Carolina rig up there. I'm sure you could probably catch some fish on a Carolina rig up there as well. But the key is these fish are moving from the creeks out onto the main lake, and probably within a week or so you're going to hear me start talking about throwing a drop shot rig, because I really think with this water warming up as fast as it is, once we get into the 80s, we're going to have to start drop shotting. So if you want to learn how to drop shot, June, July, and August are definitely going to be a drop shot time of year. But guys, fish are biting. We're catching a lot of fish. It's really a good time to come down and fish. Like I said, we're going to have a topwater bite all the way through the summer. It seems like it lasts all summer for at least an hour or two first thing in the morning if you get out early enough. Like I also said, catch them on a jig, catch them on a shaky head right now, but I think we're going to be switching over to a drop shot before too much longer. If you want to learn how to drop shot, June and July, August, that's your time to come down. We'll be drop shotting every day, but if you want to learn how to do that, it's a great time to come down and do that. Maybe you bought a house last winter, catching them in the spring, and now you're starting to struggle a little bit. Good idea to give me a call. We can go out and fish a little bit. June is pretty much, towards the end of June, is pretty wide open. July is wide open right now. So if you guys are thinking about coming down, maybe you want to hire a guide, give me a call. It's Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743. Hit my website, focusfishing.com. Either shoot me an email, book online, whatever works out best for you. We'll get together and figure out dates and times. But guys, thanks for watching the videos. Take a minute to subscribe. Again, thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.